welcome to my off-grid homestead kitchen. Today I wanted to show you something that I'm pretty excited about. Been using it for several months now, and I just wanted to share. In my kitchen, which is, we are 100% off-grid, and I do like to incorporate a lot of vintage things in my kitchen, including my vintage stove, which is a 1950 Wedgwood stove, and then I have my sink that is also a 1950s sink, a drain board sink. So with that theme in mind, we have added something to our kitchen, which the boys actually got me for Christmas. And it's one of those things where they're like, what do you want for Christmas, Mom? And I'm like, well, this would be really nice. So they were really great, and we ended up with this Frigidaire toaster. Now, this kind of looks like an old-timey radio, which I think it kind of does. I'm gonna just tell you what I think about it. I've been using it for a while, ever since Christmas, and now it's almost May, so it's been a decent amount of time to check it out. First of all, let's just take a look at the toaster. We opted for the 2-slice Frigidaire toaster. With the amount of toast that we made and the amount of counter space, I didn't really want to go double. I figured 2 was enough. I mean, if we want to make more than 2 slices of toast, then somebody can wait. That's just kind of what I figured. Right off the bat, we can see that this is a beautiful shade of red. It's kind of a matte red, and I would say it's between a country red and a candy apple. It's not quite as candy apple as some red paints are. It coordinates really well with the other things in my kitchen. So it has a dial on the front where you can adjust it for darkness. And so far, what we have found is we only use it on one. Anything else goes burnt. And so that's just kind of an interesting thing that we've seen. I don't know if this is just this particular model, or if it's, I couldn't imagine going too much darker, otherwise it would be burnt. But we have these buttons on the front. So the first one is defrost, bagel, and cancel. And so it is pretty convenient if you have frozen bread or a frozen bagel, which we often have. Our bread is frozen many times, and so you can defrost it and you can hit bagel or whatever, and it'll do that, and then cook it. So going with the 1950s theme, this is very Cadillac. It's very 57 Chevy type decor, that whole theme. There's a lot of, I don't know that this is actually chrome. I don't think it is. It's a chrome look, but it's probably more like aluminum. And then it has the little knob thing that goes down, which is very shiny, and it's really pretty nice. Just the whole aesthetic it's really cool. It just looks really cool. And when we got this, it was kind of funny because it inspired my mom to go out, and she added to her collection a Frigidaire little mini fridge that she can keep drinks in, and it's the same line as this Frigidaire. And so I thought it was kind of cute, and that is a throwback to her actual time. This is a little bit before my time, but I love the look. Okay, so we've determined what the toaster looks like. Now we need to determine how does it function. So to do that, we're going to want to plug it in. This has a normal 2-prong plug. And one note that I would like to make is we are truly off-grid. And so I hesitated for a long time before getting a toaster because I didn't really want to have a big draw on the system. And so toasters do pull a lot of energy, but I will say that we have used the toaster when our batteries have been good and charged, and Greg has checked the batteries and he said it's not a huge draw on them. I probably wouldn't do a lot of toast over and over and over on a cloudy day, or if our batteries were not fully charged. That's just how it is. And I don't remember the specifics on it. I think I can look. Let's see. It says it is... It doesn't actually say how many watts it is, and so yeah, I think I might have checked it one time, but I don't have that memorized. Basically, I just kind of pay attention to how much is drawing on our system at a particular moment. Okay, one feature that I do want to tell you about, which I was kind of puzzled about this morning as I was trying to look this over. I was looking around and around and around, and I was like, why does this toaster not have a crumb catcher? You would think that all toasters had a crumb catcher. So here I was banging the crumbs out because somebody had gotten some bread stuck down in the bottom and it didn't want to come out, and so I was shaking it and just trying to get it out, and I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to tell you that there is no crumb catcher on this model. And then after I shook it all out, got all that out, I found the crumb catcher. So it's kind of hidden. It is, okay, not on this side. You look and you look and you look, and then you look on this side and it's kind of integrated into it, so you don't really notice it right away. But it does have a small crumb catcher, and it just slides out. And I find that it's very similar to the crumb catcher on my stove, just a little tray. And let me tell you something. In my opinion, since this is an honest review, this is kind of a pitiful little crumb catcher. It gets some of the crumbs, but a lot of them were just still in there. And, okay, put it back in there. So as you look down into it, and I don't know if you can see, the crumb catcher kind of catches exactly this area right here, but then crumbs can still go on the outside, and then they will fall down when you take the crumb catcher out. And so you're going to have crumbs going down in the bottom of these little holes coming out, which I saw one fall. So, okay, so there's a few little design flaws that, you know, could be better. But if you're very careful with your crumbs and you only have very specific crumbs, you can slide the crumb catcher out carefully and get them all. If you're messy like us, the crumbs are gonna go everywhere. You just might as well shake it out. So, okay, so I noticed something else before I toast this. I love the looks of this toaster. I'm just saying, everything these days is made in overseas markets, which shall remain unnamed. Okay, so I don't know what happened with my crew. Somebody might have dropped a screwdriver or something on it. I don't know. I just noticed this today. But it already has a little ding in it. And so I'm going to try to have them do a little better with things. But I don't know. It's possible that somebody dropped something on it. And so it is fairly easy to ding up. I'm guessing this is, it may be stainless steel, but it's pretty thin gauge. Just keep it in mind. Don't drop hammers and screwdrivers on it, and keep it out of the construction zone. How do we know that? I don't know. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty gritty on it. This is what everybody wants to know. How does it toast? So I am going to toast a piece of this knock your sprouts off bread. I'm not going to choose the crust. So I'll get one of these. It's basically a sprouted wheat bread. Let's put that in there. And I'll do one piece of sourdough bread that is like a white bread, just for comparison. And by the way, both of these breads come from Aldi. We get a lot of our food from Aldi. All right, so like I said, we do most of these on the first dial. Okay, why don't we do one at a time? I'm going to do the sourdough piece first. I'm going to keep it on 1, and we'll see what it does. Time passes. Have you ever watched toast? I haven't. It's fairly boring. Okay, so this piece is pretty pale. In fact, it hardly browned it at all. So we could have gone darker on this piece. Let's try the other one, and I'm going to try it on this slot just in case. And this toaster is hot now, so maybe that'll make a difference. Okay, this is the this is the wheat bread, and it got it a lot darker than the other, which I like my bread toasted like this, but this is the lightest setting. Anyway. Here's my synopsis of the situation. I got the toaster because I liked how it looked. That's why the boys got it for me. It was cute and fun. So, does it work? Yes, it does. It toasts bread, and it does a good job. Would I recommend it? I think I would. Just know that it's nothing fancy. It's you're buying it for the looks of it. It is made abroad, and it is made not the most sturdy. Like if it was from 1950s, it would probably be like a tank. It's pretty lightweight. For the aesthetics, I love it in my kitchen. It makes toast, and that's what we wanted it for. We just keep it turned down low. I think it would be like black if we did it on 6. I probably should try that. I might just try that. It's a cool toaster. I know it's a hot toaster. I'd buy it again. And for like, it was not that expensive. It was like $30. So if it was like, there are some retro vintage toasters that are like exceedingly expensive, and I can only hope that for the price point that they are like way heavy duty or something, never gonna dent. This one is more of one that I would consider lightweight, just treat it carefully and it'll last for you, but time will tell as to how long it will last. So that's my honest review. I'm glad I got it. I love how it looks, and yeah, what's there more to say? I guess it's time to eat some toast. Delicious. Because I'm now curious, and because I have nothing better to do than toast bread, I'm gonna try every setting, but I'm only gonna try this one on 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's see how it goes. Here is the results. 1 and 2, actually 2 looks lighter than 1. 3 and 4, it's a gradual progression, but oh my. 5 and 6, it didn't work out too well. Nobody's gonna eat that 6th one, and that 5 one is pretty burnt as it is. So anywhere between the 1 and 4 are probably edible. After that, it's probably better to leave it alone. So that's the synopsis of this toaster. Basically, I think as far as function goes, you're gonna get the average function that you would out of any toaster. It does look cool, so there's points for that, and I still like it in our kitchen. But I am gonna turn that dial right back down to the other channel so that nobody else burns their toast the next time they make it.